Well, good week, salutations. Eric Hudson here, and guess what? This week we're going to start going over something that's opposite of what we did last week. Last time we talked about closing costs for buyers. This time we're going to talk about closing costs if you're selling a home, so you can see what type of monies you're going to be out of when it comes time to sell. And we'll go over some of the options for you. So, onto our screen here. So, we're going to go ahead and create a fictitious client for this that are selling their home. You know, it'll be John and Jane Doe. Okay, on 123 Main Street in lovely city of Las Vegas, out in area code 89128, which is up in the northwest side of town. And they're going to be selling for about a normal price here right now, about $300,000. And we're going to start with the good old conventional loan. So different types of loan carries different costs for everyone. So right now we're going to start with a conventional loan. So on a conventional loan, let's say pretend someone's putting down, right now people don't put down 20% anymore. You know, it's going to be 10%, 5%. So let's just call it 95%. So 5% they're putting down. And we just got the offer today, so we'll be closing, sometime in July. We'll just call it July 7th. And let's see here. Okay. Annual property tax. Now remember, this program would have pulled in the annual property tax if I put in the real address. So right now we'll say that the annual property tax would just go like $25.36 or something like that. Okay, so normally, going back, we were talking about this before, escrow fees are split down the middle, 50-50. So we'll go ahead and put split in for here. Now remember, there are two title policies, one for the new buyer and one for their bank. The buyer pays for their bank, and traditionally the seller pays for the buyer, so they are ensuring they're passing over good title. And let's see, let's go on through the rest. So they are, we'll go ahead and say we still had a $200,000 loan on it. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. We're paying 4.25%. So get our numbers in here. So in a case like this, you're going to be spending roughly $350, your half of the escrow fees. Again, escrow fees, this is what the escrow company, they are the ones who, they're the I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. They're the neutral third party. So they're making sure that you receive your money as a seller and the buyer receives the property in exchange. So they're like a little middleman who's there to make sure all funds are distributed. They're the ones who collect money from the bank for the loan from the buyer. They collect the down payment and any closing costs the buyer has to pay, along with your closing costs, and then they make sure you get your money and the house goes to the buyer properly and legally, of course. Title, remember that's an insurance to ensure good title has been transferred, and at some point you're saying, well, why do I have to pay for their title insurance? This is you ensuring that you are passing good title. Also, if you're saying you don't want to pay it, you're possibly saying, I may be up to something. Because you're saying, I don't want to give you good title.
Oh, no!
Not a good look. Now, on your end, there's also a transfer tax known as RPTT. The seller in a resale transaction pays for this transfer fee, and it's really strange the way it is. It's $5.10 for every $1,000 of the sale. So if you sell your house for $300,000, in this case, your transfer tax is $1,530. And of course, I know there's a lawsuit going on, and we'll have to see what happens on that. The seller pays the commissions. So that commission is whatever you can negotiate with your agent. In this case, we're putting down 6%. There is no normal commission. It's whatever you can negotiate with your agent. Heck, sometimes the agents negotiate higher because they can do more for you. Believe it or not, you trying to cheap out your commission will actually cost money. If what you're looking for is the bottom line, what's going to go in your pocket, trying to save on commission may go against you sometimes. You go like, how's that going to go against me saving on commission? Well, let's say I'll give you a perfect example. I had this client, I took it as an experiment. There's no nice way to put it. I took it as an experiment. He's a tough old bird. He goes, I only want to pay XYZ commission. I'm not going to discuss commission here. And I was like, well, that's not normal, and we're going to have many issues. First of all, I can't give the proper commission on the buy side. And he sits there, he crosses his legs, he folds his arm and goes, that's not my problem. Oh, no. So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. He priced the house properly, but he wanted to try to save the money on the commission. Okay, here's what happened. Had plenty of people come through it. I actually sold that house 3 times. When it was all said and done, the agent went, well, we got to discuss this commission issue. What do we have to discuss? It's not enough. It needs to be a normal commission. It's like, there's nothing I can do. He refuses to budge. Okay. 3 times. Now, let's get some light to this. When it was all said and done, this guy took 2.5 years to sell, trying the same trick over and over again. And it took him, like I said, 2.5 years to sell through about 9 agents, all trying the same thing. Oh, no. The commission is part of what gets your house sold. You need to give a proper commission out. There's no way anyone can market your home if you don't give them the money to market it. Yes, you can go to these guys who charge a flat fee or XYZ, I'll sell your house for whatever. They didn't say the house would sell. They're listing your house. The flat fee, why do you think they collect that money up front? There's another little story I want to relate real quick, and it happened during the last economic downturn back in like 2008. If you remember how bad things were in Miami, Florida, somebody came up with this novel concept. I think I will discuss this one. I will list your condo. They specialized in condos. I will list your condo for $99. That's what they said. $99. They collect the money up front, and people rushed in. Everyone was trying to list with this place because they could get their condo listed for $99. It took somebody a while to figure out not one single condo sold. By the time someone figured this out and exposed it, they had made over $1 million. Now, right now, somebody's saying, well, that's not going to be me. Just being honest with you, it's going to be you. There's a way things work, and you can cheap it out. Those things only work in certain markets, and they work short periods of time. And you keep seeing this over and over again. I'm just telling you. So you're going to be paying the commission. Right now, we're just putting out the nominal, what people think, 6%. So $18,000 split properly between the buyer and the seller's agent. If your agent sells it himself, great. Maybe you can negotiate something. But 99.9% of the time, it's actually like 98.5%. 98.5%, somebody else is going to bring that buyer. Okay? So you got your transaction fee. That in our market is very normal. It started during that same era back in 2008 where they started charging it because they were realizing they weren't getting paid when the houses weren't selling. So they wanted to charge something, and they started this transaction fee. And when the economy got better, it's like airlines with baggage fees. Fees don't go away necessarily. And that's what happened. Home warranty. Now, this is not required. It is sometimes paid by the seller, sometimes paid by the buyer. Highly recommend, if there is a thing to do, pay for that home warranty. It's usually only $400. And here's why you want to pay for the home warranty. When stuff goes wrong with the house, like it does, the buyer doesn't go, oh, well, the air conditioner stopped working. They start looking for someone to blame. The first person they're going to blame is you, the seller. Now, would you rather have paid $400 or be dragged in the court? Even if you win, you still got dragged in the court. This prevents that. Over 80% of lawsuits that involve real estate involve issues like this that would have been solved if you had just spent the $400. Spend it. HOA resale package. Okay, about 73% of all homes here in the Valley, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, are in an HOA. So you're going to have to pay for that resale package. And you may have to pay for that resale package up to 3 times, and it can be very expensive. Most people are in one, but if you're in a master plan community like Aliante, Summerlin, Providence, any of those, Green Valley, those are master plan communities. So the master plan has an HOA package, and the subdivision you live in has an HOA package. You've got to pay for all of those. And again, there are some where you have a subdivision within a subdivision. You may have to pay for those too. I have bad news for you. The law says you have to order that package within 2 days. 2 days of getting an accepted offer. So once you accept that offer, you have 2 days to order it. So if it's $250, you can spend $250. Here's the good news. It's good for 90 days. So if the deal falls through, you had to order it anyway. Don't worry about it. FedEx outside fee, that may or may not happen. You don't have to worry about recording fees. And you actually get some money back in your taxes. So if we were, let's say we had a $200,000 that we paid for the house, and it was at 4.25% interest. Someone offered us a conventional loan and gave us the $300,000. By the time you were to pay off your loan and everything, your total cost, including that commission, which was $18,000, it sounds like a lot right now. I know. It's $22,800. You got some taxes you're going to get back, so you'll put $77,000 in your pocket. So this is just an example. If you're selling your house, make sure that your agent runs you some kind of a net sheet so you'll know what's going to be your bottom line figure and go from there. Sometimes we go in there, we want to say, I want to sell for X amount. Look for what your bottom line is and make sure it's reasonable, because especially your sales price. Because your neighbor just sold their house for $300,000. I know my house is better, so I know I can sell for more. It's not exactly how the system works. I'll go into that deeper in a later video about appraisals. And speaking of later videos, please subscribe and like and give me a thumbs up on this video. And hit that notification bell, because I'm going to keep putting out more and more content every week to educate you on buying and selling homes here in Las Vegas, along with living in Las Vegas, and many other things that I'm planning to cover for you. Thanks a lot, and make it a great week, because guess what? We're coming out of this coronavirus thing, and it is going to be a fantastic summer. Bye, everyone.